All the Scorpios, welcome to your mid-month check-in for June 2020. Keep in mind this is a general reading. If it resonates, consider a personal reading. My email is below. Just send me an email and we can make that happen. Otherwise, let's get to your reading. Holy Spirit, angels, divine guides, the universe, can you please provide your truth, your wisdom, your clarity, and your insight for Scorpios for June 2020? What do you see? What do they need to know? To reach your higher ground, become closer to the universe and closer to the divine for their greater good. Any messages you have for the middle of June for Scorpios would be greatly appreciated, and we thank you. Can you please show me Scorpio's general energies for the middle of June? Tower card in the upright. I will be leaving a link below for this month's Extra Extra, which is based on the High Priestess. In that reading, it will tell you what is your intuition telling you, what mystery will be revealed, and how can you increase your intuitive powers. Speaking of which, the Hermit is in your challenge position. Change. Okay. Check out my playlist. They are my library. In them, I have my 2020 Sun and Moon predictions. I also have what is your ideal career based on your midheaven. I also have compatibility readings comparing you with your partner's sun sign. And then I'll leave links below to get to all that directly so you don't have to sift through my playlist. King of Cups in reverse is in a advice position. And then how will Scorpios be moving out of the middle of June? We have the Knight of Cups in reverse. Okie dokes. Alrighty, ask me a question on Instant. Go check me out on Facebook and Insta. Like, share, subscribe, and or donate. Otherwise, let's get to your reading. So, it's interesting. I try not to make this a love reading, and it doesn't have to be. Usually these readings are about connections with people, but the tarot card starts off. So something terrible happened. The tarot card, when it shows up, is basically something falls apart. There's no way that you can, I liken the tarot card to a sandcastle, and you know how one side starts falling down and then the other, and you try to prop that up and the other side starts falling down. You're just kind of like holding on to it and trying, and then like this wave comes in and just like washes it all away, and you're like, oh, now I gotta rebuild from the beginning. And I know all of you have been there before. So that's kind of what the Tower card is about. So there's something, and you were really trying to resist it from happening. So maybe you were hoping that maybe you could fix things, change things, resurrect this, whatever it was, and you really couldn't. You were powerless. There's nothing you could do about it. So when the tarot card shows up, it's just allowing it to fall down and then rebuilding out of its ashes. Very phoenix-like. Now, the good thing about the tower, as some of you might know, is that it forces you to change. So basically, a lot of us will just sit on our butts in a relationship, in a job, in a situation, and we won't do anything about it until we get the kick in the butt we need to push us into something else. We've all been there, right? So I feel like that's what this is. This is really a catalyst for something to change, because you won't do so, so it should actually be embraced, okay? So I don't pull clarifiers. We'll talk more about that. Challenge position, we have the Hermit card in the upright, so that's the card of Virgo. Now, the challenge is, this happened, whatever that was, according to your situation. But the challenge is for you to try to figure out what happened, why, and where you're going to go from here. Because the Hermit card the Hermit kind of goes off on his mountain, and he doesn't want anybody around him. He wants to think about himself and his soul and do all this, like, soul searching, figure out what his next step's going to be. But he needs to be alone. He needs to have quiet. He needs to be with himself to figure it out. He needs individuality to figure it out. And that's a challenge for you. So either you're having an inability to kind of create space so that you can do this. For some of you, this might have been a relationship and now you're alone and you're having a hard time kind of dealing with that. Whatever it is, solitude or whatever is a challenge for you. You don't like that situation, okay? Or you can't create that situation so that you can figure out what to do. Maybe you have 5 kids crawling all over you, while you're trying to figure out what your next move is going to be. Now, we have the King of Cups here in reverse for advice. And The King of Cups, when he's in reverse, he lets his emotions make his decisions, all right? That is not what they're advising you to do. What they're advising you to do is get a grip on your emotions, okay? So you may kind of be letting your feelings drive your train, make decisions for you that they shouldn't be making for you. Um, I mean, the King of Cups, I feel like the advice card is just saying, get a grip. Okay, get it together. This is not the time to fall apart emotionally. Nothing is going to come from that. It's okay to dip into your emotions from time to time, but what they just sees you, and then every action going forward is them doing it instead of logic, then that becomes problematic. So, you really need to get in control and get a cap on your emotions and figure out what you're going to do now that this is all fallen apart. And it's just like, something. I mean, a lot of people just want to lie in bed and pull the covers over their head and cry for days on end and feel helpless, but that isn't a luxury that a lot of us have. So that's what I feel like they're kind of telling you to do. Now, as you move forward, we have this Knight of Cups here in reverse. So I feel like you're going to have a hard time pulling yourself out of this. I feel like you're going to continue to, because anytime there's cups in reverse, it's still having emotional issues and what have you. I hope this isn't you still letting your emotions get the best of you. And what you're doing is you're blaming people, you're being emotional, you're being moody, you're being emotionally abusive. If that's the case, knock it off, okay? Because that's not the way to cope with this, all right? It's not that. It could be a person that you're dealing with. This could be the person that wronged you. And as you move forward, maybe you're realizing this person just didn't have it in them to have a healthy relationship or connection, whatever that was, colleague, friend, family, lover, whatever it is. I don't want to hone it into a love reading. But maybe you're having this realization that it wasn't you, it was them. And they weren't going to change. Nothing was going to get better about them. They're going to continue to be this way. And the only thing you can do is just walk away from this person. Let them kind of do what they're going to do because there's no fixing them. Okay. So let's look a little further into this. But whatever it is, it seems like it hits you pretty hard. Why is the tarot card here in the upright? Who's this person? What's this energy? Additional messages. I feel there was a connection. Connection didn't work out. You are alone, you're having a hard time dealing with that, your emotions are getting the best of you, and then you're kind of, it's even worse to know that this person isn't even capable of having a healthy relationship. Why is the tarot card here in the upright for Scorpios? Who's this person? Or any kind of connection. Again, I hate getting into the love thing for general reasons. Why is the tarot card here in the upright? Who's this person? What's this energy? Yeah, so the Six of Swords is you continuing. So even though this was falling apart, that was you trying to go back, trying to fix things, trying to see if it could work somehow. You couldn't just walk away from it. You figured there were issues that needed to be resolved. I can go back, I can fix these. And it's also in doing that because you're resisting the change of it falling apart. Sun card in the upright. Additional clarifier. Seven of Cups in the upright. So I think you were trying to stay really positive throughout this with the Sun card in the upright and being like, this can be worked out. We can figure this out. Really, really kind of, over the top. We can be happy again, or this can be, or I don't think this connection, it doesn't have to be like this. You kept on telling yourself this and the other person this. And you also were willing to kind of, say to the other person, if we're just honest with each other and we just like talk about this or reveal things, we can work this out. And I feel like you had all the hopes that was going to kind of happen. So, I mean, these are strategies that you had in place to kind of hold this together. I'm sort of getting. We have the Seven of Cups here in the upright, and this kind of ties in with the Knight of Cups here. I think this person, not only do they have other options available to them, but they also have an inability to commit. It has nothing to do with you. So as much as you're trying to fix this, I mean, this could be this person saying, hey, you know what? I know we made this business arrangement, but I'm out. This is someone who said, hey, I know I said I wanted to have a relationship, but I changed my mind. Like that kind of stuff. And you're trying to kind of figure out, well, what's wrong? How can we work on this? Let's be positive. And I feel like you were the person. But this person just is like a kid in a candy store. They feel like they have better options out there. They are not good with committing to one thing and staying with it. It's just a problematic thing for them, okay? And that's something that you couldn't fix. Okay, why is the Hermit card here in the upright? Who's this person? What's this energy? Additional messages. I almost feel like with the Hermit card in the upright, it's like, you know, sometimes people would rather, the challenge is, some people would rather be with somebody than, you know, be by themselves, no matter what, even if that person was taking away from them. And that's what I'm feeling with the Hermit card. You're just having a hard time not having this connection in your life. Why is the Hermit card here in the upright? Who's this person? Even though the writing's kind of on the wall. What's this? Okay, King of Swords. So you're having a really hard time kind of seeing the truth and seeing. So you are having a hard time with your emotions. You can't kind of take your emotions out of this and see this objectively and see the bigger picture and how this would have ended up down the line if you had continued on with this person. How damaging it would have been. Okay, you don't want anybody else. You don't want to deal with anybody else. Yeah, the Five of Wands is other suitors, other people, you know, being around people. You don't want any of that. And the Emperor card in reverse. I feel like, and that's the card of Aries. So I feel like this person, I feel like they were kind of like your rock. They told you what to do. They kept you in line or whatever. They made sure things were in order and things like that. They had qualities about them. They were a good provider. They were able to do that. And without them, everything is just chaos for you right now. You just kind of feel like you can't do stuff on your own without this person. Let's say if it was a business or whatever, this is the person that maybe handled the numbers or handled, you know, the practical stuff, or the person that they were very strong, whoever they were. And now that they're gone, you don't know what to do. It's just, you know, everything is disordered and you don't know what to do about it. This person was kind of the glue that held things together, whether in the household, in the business, in the workplace, or what have you. And this fallout, it has you kind of saying, I don't know if I can do it alone. Okay. Why is the King? And then the emotions kind of get stirred up, and then you're getting caught up in your emotions, and it saddens you, and then it snowballs, etc., etc. Why is the King of Cups here reversed? Who's this person? What's this energy? Additional messages. But you're going to have to do it alone, because you're better off doing it alone than with this person. Okay. So they're saying don't let your emotions get the best of you, and kind of go back. We have the Lover's card, which is a card of Gemini, so that's you being wistful and you being, you know, it was such a good connection, it could have worked out. You know, they were the yin to my yang. We worked very well together. So you're getting caught, they're showing you that you're getting caught up in your emotions here, just thinking of how you thought things actually were. Or just thinking about just all the good stuff instead of how it really was. So while you guys did work together and there was a connection unlike any other, that's your emotions kind of guiding you to sort of do that. But the Page of Wands here in reverse, they're kind of saying, you know, this had those qualities to it, and look what happened. It kind of fell apart anyways. It wasn't enough to hold this together. Okay, it wasn't enough for this person to not kind of be immature and decide that they kind of want to do their own thing. They're just not somebody, I feel like, that has follow through that you can kind of count on, and you're better off without that person in any situation. Why is this Knight of Cups here in reverse for Scorpios as they move out of June into July? Who is this person? What is this energy? Additional messages for the Knight of Cups in reverse. Magician card. I wonder if that's them. Still influencing you. Okay, it could very well be them. That Knight of Cups could be them kind of lingering after the fact. And with the Magician card in reverse, that's a crappy energy. So that's a crappy energy of someone who's trying to convince someone trying to trick somebody, someone's just trying to cheat somebody of something. So I feel like June into July, they're still kind of hanging around, you know, trying to pull that string, trying to manipulate you. But the Eight of Swords in reverse is you kind of saying, I'm done. You know, I'm done with this. I'm not the same person that I was. I don't do the same things that I used to do. Those things don't serve me. And being alone has taught me a lot, and I don't kind of need this crap. So you free yourself from them, and you're embracing the change of life without them or them involved. I feel like when they kind of come back, you're learning to stand on your own 2 feet, and and they don't like that. I think you've empowered yourself. You've gotten used to, okay, I have to do this by myself because they can't commit to this. Here I am. I'm going to need to figure this out. It's a challenge for you, but I feel like moving out in June and July, you figure it out, and then they kind of come back because I guess they're not getting attention or what have you, and now they kind of want to get back into the situation, but you know that they're just gonna leave again. Um, and the Two of Wands has you say, Two of Wands in reverse has you saying you can't trust this person, you can't count on this person, they didn't pull their weight in the relationship, and you're not going to be doing it again. You're going to have to do it on your own outside of this person. So you do eventually learn to stand on your own 2 feet. And like I said, when you do, then all of a sudden this person is kind of coming back like, well, wait a minute. How are you going on and doing this without me? I do feel like this person has a little bit of an ego associated with them, even though it's not, even though it's not the Knight of Wands or reverse. But I'm still kind of getting that they feel like they can manipulate people's emotions to make themselves feel good about themselves. So keep on, and is what I'm saying. If this resonates, consider a personal reading. Just send me an email. We can make that happen. Click on the link below for this month's extra, which is based on the High Priestess. And in that reading, it will tell you what is your intuition telling you, what mystery will be revealed to you in June, and how can you increase your intuitive powers. Also, check out my playlist. They are my library. In there, I have 2020 Sun Moon predictions, what your ideal career should be, what your compatibility should be with your partner's sun sign. And I left those links below in the description box. You can just click on them and go right to what you need. Ask me a question on Instant Go. Check me out on Facebook and Insta. Like, share, subscribe, and or donate. Otherwise, best of luck to you. Adios from Veronica Garnett.